Caeser Pink.
Let your mama down. Let your mama down. Let your mama down. Baby, please.
Thanks for visiting my channel, and thank you for coming to explore some new music with me. Today we're going to look at a song called Tommy Gun by The Clash. A little bit about The Clash. They were a punk band that formed in 1976. The musicians were singer and guitarist Joe Strummer, guitarist and vocalist Mick Jones, bass player Paul Simonon, and drummer Topper Headon. So The Clash began when Joe Strummer saw the Sex Pistols on their first performance. And he said at that time that after the Sex Pistols show, all the old bands broke up and 100 new bands formed. And he went back and broke up his band and formed a band that would become The Clash. Now, a little bit about this song is from their second album called Give 'Em Enough Rope. And they released their first album just called The Clash. And it was successful in England, but not at all in America. So the band members wrote a letter to their American record label asking why they weren't promoting it to American radio. And the record label wrote back saying that although he personally liked The Clash, he didn't feel that the record production was good enough for American radio. So what happened, he got involved in the production of their second album, and he got a producer who had worked with Blue Oyster Cult to produce the album, to give it more of an American sound. So the second album was a lot more beefier, heavy guitars, and it's an album I like a lot, but it really didn't represent their sound before or after, so they felt some frustration over it. Now, Joe Strummer has said of the song Tommy Gun, "I was saying we rock and rollers are all posers and egomaniacs, but we know that terrorists are just as bad or worse than we are. They definitely love to read their own press. I know they dedicate their life to the cause, but they're always posing for pictures." So the song is about terrorists and about they're having a quest for fame and to feed their ego as part of the reason they become terrorists. Maybe not the entire reason, but part of it. See what else we have here. Now, this video was filmed during a sound check by Don Letts. He's a filmmaker and also a member of, can't remember the name of the group, but he's a well-known figure. He was a DJ in London during the early days of punk, and at the first punk club, and there weren't any punk rock records released yet, so he would play reggae, and all the punk fans got into reggae. Now, what reggae and punk shared is that they both had lyrics that were socially conscious and politically aware. But anyways, let's watch the part of this video.
Ain't gonna set the place off just for fun.
even though this is one of the Clash's lesser known videos, I think it's their best. Now, a few things I noticed watching that is, number one, Topper Headon's drumming and his machine gun snare drum rolls. The main thing I noticed, though, is just the incredible energy and power that they have. But even though it's very aggressive and punk rock, there's always a lot of melody in it, usually coming from Mick Jones's guitar playing. And normally, Joe Strummer wrote the lyrics and Mick Jones wrote the music. And I think the pop sensibility mainly came from Mick Jones. Strummer has also said that the song is about the public's fascination with violent acts. And the song uses satire to highlight the hypocrisy of those involved. People watch terrorist acts, news about terrorist acts, and act shocked and offended, yet they're so drawn to coverage of the violence, and I think that's where the hypocrisy comes from. But let's continue on. There's a lot of things I love about this song. One is Joe Strummer's voice, which is kind of gnarly but beautiful in its own way. In this video you can see that he didn't have money yet to fix his teeth, which are a little bit of a mess. But the song is so creative. The structure is so interesting. It just keeps changing and changing. Some of the changes are by taking sections and reconfiguring what's underneath them. For instance, it might have a vocal melody, but the rhythmic pattern might change, or the guitar melody might change underneath. And these elements just keep getting rearranged as it goes throughout the song. I haven't sat down and tried to write down the structure to make any sense of it, but it's certainly not following a verse, chorus, bridge structure at all. And at the end, the last four sections just keep building in intensity. The guitar moves up to higher melodies, and the pressure just keeps getting higher and higher until the final explosion at the end. Now, one thing I was thinking when I watched this is that a band like The Clash is all about the chemistry of the four musicians. You don't hear too much in there, but both Mick Jones and Joe Strummer have very unique voices. And when they sing together in harmonies, or not harmonies even, it creates a very unique sound in its own. And it's really that drummer's style, that bass player's style, that guitar player's style, and Joe Strummer's style that comes together to create what The Clash is. And when you take one element out of that, for instance, in their last year, the drummer had to leave due to a heroin addiction. It just wasn't the same and could never be the same. It was the chemistry of those four people that made The Clash. Let's look at the lyrics of this song. Tommy gun, you ain't happy less you got one. Tommy gun, ain't gonna shoot up the place just for fun. Maybe he wants to die for the money. Maybe he wants to kill for his country. Whatever he wants, he's gonna get it. This sounds like he's describing the mindset of the terrorist, and it's a bit contradictory. Is it for the money? Is it for his country? Is it just for fun? Tommy gun, you better strip it down for a custom run. Tommy gun, waiting at the airport till kingdom come. Now this was written long before 9/11, but if it wasn't, it would bring to mind the mindset of the terrorist who hijacked the planes and drove them into the Trade Center. And we can watch him make it on the 9 o'clock news, standing there in Palestine lighting a fuse. Whatever you want, you're going to get it. Tommy gun, you'll be dead when your war is won. Tommy gun, but did you have to gun down everyone? I can see it's kill or be killed. A nation of destiny has got to be fulfilled. Whatever you want, you're going to get it. Tommy gun, you can be a hero in an age of none. Now this lyric is interesting to me because I think a lot of young people want to be the hero of their own story. Perhaps this is more true for boys, but I'm not sure. But I think the reason a lot of people go off to war is because it's their big opportunity to be a hero. And in day-to-day life, we don't get many opportunities to be a hero. But for the terrorist, he likely sees himself as a hero. He has a cause, he has a sense of purpose, and he's the hero of not only his own story, but he's becoming a hero in the world at large. Okay, so let's agree about the price and make it one jet airliner for 10 prisoners. Boats and tanks and planes, it's your game. Kings and queens and generals, learn your name. Tommy gun, I'm cutting out your picture from page 1. I'm gonna get a jacket just like yours and give my full support to your cause. Whatever you want, you're gonna get it. Now I think this is describing a young person seeing the terrorist in the media and thinking they're cool, thinking that they are a hero, and wanting to imitate them and be like them. And it's almost like the terrorist is a rock star, and the fans who see them through the media want to be like them. And I think a lot of terrorism, I think it was as art designed for the media. It's really using the media as a way to communicate. Could be to speak of the cause, but it's also, these lyrics are suggesting that it's also about the terrorist ego, that he wants to be a star, he wants to be a hero. Okay, so let's agree about the price and make it one jet airliner for 10 prisoners. Boats and tanks and planes, it's your game. Kings and queens and generals, learn your name. I see all the innocence, the human sacrifice. And if death comes so cheap, then the same goes for life. Now this is pretty powerful. Boats and tanks and planes, it's your game. Suddenly the terrorist is playing with the big boys. He's negotiating with generals. The kings and queens and generals learn his name. He's suddenly become a power player. He's famous. He's powerful. I see all the innocence, the human sacrifice. These are the people that are killed for the cause, for the terrorist ego, for him to become a star in the media. And it ends with, and if death comes so cheap, then the same goes for life. So when you kill, and you kill so easily, it degrades the value of life, of all life. And that is really an overall evil. If the Clash are new to you, this is a nice introduction to them, but they do many different things. Their album London Calling was voted the best album of the 1980s by Rolling Stone, and that's a good one to check out if you want to dig deeper. Well, thank you for joining today. If you have any insights or know any other songs you would like me to react to, post them in the link. Please like and subscribe. It's a great way to help our channel and the Arete Living Arts Foundation. All the proceeds from this channel are donated to the Arete Living Arts Foundation. At Arete, we believe all arts are education and that art is activism. And most of the arts people see on a daily basis are controlled by corporations. They're brought to the public via corporations. And they share a message that corporations approve of. Now that goes for TV advertisement, online advertisement, music from major record labels. Most of the movies, nearly all the movies and TV you see, those are art that's brought to you by corporations. At Arete, we believe it's very important for people, for artists outside of the corporate structure to be able to have their voices heard and to be able to speak what's on the minds of common people, what are in the interest of working people, and not just what's in the interest of corporations. But thank you again, and come back soon.